Oh, shit, it's a good show. It's a great show. It's a shit show. Pickle Rick show. Not a Jerry show. Scary Terry show. Lick my balls show. Szechuan sauce show. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show, bitch.
Yes, it is. It's the motherfucking Rick and Morty fan show, guys. And let me tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I've just had my mind blown, absolutely blown, destroyed. Woo! That was quite a finale, guys. First of all, I'd like to say sorry, I'm a little bit late today. And, well, not only am I late, we were going to start at 9, which normally we're an 8 o'clock show, but we went even later because, you know, I had some stuff come up, and, oh, man, it's been a hell of a day. Back to work. Crazy stuff happened. Had some not so great stuff happen. Had so many different things to do with family and everything. Woo, crazy. And on top of that, we get to talk about the Rick and Morty season finale. That was just, oh man, that was something. First of all, I would like to, I guess, I don't know if I want to apologize. I don't know what I have to say for the fact that I have been basically saying the exact opposite of what happened for quite a while. I've been telling people, you know what, we're probably not going to see in this finale is we're probably not going to see Evil Morty. And I was telling people, you know what, I don't think we're going to get any of this crazy canon stuff. And not only did we get it, we got it all. We got the whole shebang. We got everything. So, let me just see if I got to get the chat loaded up here. I want to make sure I know who's in here today. Whoop-a-doop-a-doo. All right. Looks like we got Misty. Tommy was in. We got Solo in, Damon in, and Linton Jonas. They were making fun. You're right, Damon. They were making fun of us. There was a joke in there where, you know, Rick kind of went, meta, or how do you want to say it? He basically came up and said, like, here's your fucking origin story that you guys wanted. Like, here's the whole bag of shit. Like, he definitely came out and kind of made fun of us and said, you know, like, as fans, like, you want it? Fine, we're giving it to you. Here's my bullshit backstory. And I do think that that's probably what happened. I don't think a lot of this stuff was planned from the beginning. I'm not in the know. I'm not. This is just my own feelings about this. But I feel like what happened was they said, you know what? I don't think the show can continue without doing this. I don't think, you know, we have to do it now. And I mean, you got to give the fans what they want when you know they make you as popular as you do, as they have. But you know, without going the fourth wall breaking stuff, let's get into what actually happened in this episode. Now, we got the Portal Bros, which was great. I loved all the action sequences where it got something got shot through. What was his name? Everyone expected it to be Kyle, but it wasn't Kyle. Damon, you remember what the guy's name was? The other portal bro? It got shot through his knee and would come out of Morty's hand, and Morty, had to cover his hand up so he wasn't shooting people. All that stuff was funny. I liked that. It was interesting that it was leading us to something that was supposed to be more of Rick's backstory and things like that. How did he? Oh, Nick. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Damon. It was supposed to lead us to some sort of backstory and lots of canon-y type stuff, but it didn't really go there because we found out that it was more likely it was just a guy who met Rick in a bar, and and Rick shot him in the knee and created this portal in his knee somehow. We thought he was the old Morty, but it didn't seem like that in the end. Now, I thought this was interesting because it kind of showed us like, hey, we're going to bring you a bunch of canon-y stuff. And then it wasn't. It didn't really get into that. And let me tell you, my favorite thing about both of these episodes, because it did appear in both of these episodes, was the Two Crows Rick. Two Crows Rick, the crazy anime-style superhero, was fantastic. I absolutely loved the whole part of it. That whole bit was great. Let me know. I know there's only a few people in the chat because we're in an odd time slot tonight. But let me know what you guys have or what you guys did like and not like about this finale. Like, I honestly thought the Two Crows Rick anime opening and the whole thing about Morty showing up as a 40-year-old Morty and, you know, Rick's been doing this crazy thing forever. You know, the Two Crows superhero. I mean, it was kind of a Batman-y thing. Honestly, I would love to have a comic book of Rick as, you know, Two Crows Rick or whatever it was. I also love the storyline because the crows were a lot like the Dark Crystal looking. I don't know if you guys know Dark Crystal. Fantastic movie. Like a cult following movie. But it's something from the 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s, I think. I think it was, might even be mid 80s. But anyways, I really enjoyed all that stuff. The idea that they had kind of going around that was that, Rick was training the crows, but the crows didn't need to be trained. And Rick, it was neat that when Rick came back to Morty, and Morty was like, you know, we need to go back to being Rick and Morty. And Rick really said, you know what, like, I've treated you like a dick. Like, I've learned from these crows, you know, that I need to treat you better. And who knows if that was sincere or not, but we have no reason to doubt that right now. I mean, right now we're seeing that Rick has done some really awful things in the next episode. We'll get to that. But where is Rick and Morty from here? It's interesting gonna have to go back and watch this like a few times to find out how I feel about Rick. But Rick leaving and saying, like, I really got to do this Two Crows thing, and they're going to teach me so much. And then at the start of Rick Mirai Jack, he was the Two Crows Rick. And I thought that the animation for that was great, and brings us back to kind of that samurai thing that they were doing. It was interesting that, you know, leading into this and not understanding where the canon was going to go, we now are left at a point where we don't have a real cliffhanger. Now, people will say, there was a cliffhanger because there was, where is Evil Morty going? But Evil Morty's not the big part of the story. You know what I mean? He's not. We're going to find out where he goes, but are we going to find out where he goes at the start of season 6? It's not obvious. I mean, it was obvious when Rick went to prison at the end of season 2. Season 2? Yeah. At the end of season 2, it was obvious that at the start of season 3, we were going to immediately get, they're going to break Rick out of prison. Rick's going to escape from prison. And obviously we got the immediate, Shoney's scene where, that's how I escaped from space prison, whole thing. And it was definitely not something I thought was going to happen. I basically had predicted there was going to be a cliffhanger for sure. There's always been a cliffhanger. Now, I mean, there is kind of a cliffhanger in where does Rick and Morty go from here, but it's not as obvious as the rest of the cliffhangers we've had where, they had to fix the house for Jerry to come home and see that they had, they'd paused time in the right place. And then we got the time episode with the weird, testicle monsters and stuff like that. So Jake Sino says, I think the cliffhanger is how our Rick and Morty get home, because at the end of the show, Rick being out of portal food. Yeah, I really loved that they had that lever there at the end that said, must be, you must get help from another person, or, it's a 2-person lever. Like, doesn't really make a lot of sense. One person could be, especially in an alien world, you can be as strong as two people or two humans, but it says basically you need help to do this, which I thought was great and led to the great moment of Rick obviously saying, I need your help, Morty. And yeah, where do they go from here? I'm not too worried about that. A lot of people are confused over the destruction of the central finite curve, which was a really big thing here. We heard that, we've heard that term throughout the episode, the central finite curve, not really knowing. It was kind of just a, it was a pseudoscience. It was kind of a, well, they're just making up words. What's the central finite curve? And we find out that it's Rick. It's all the Ricks, all the smartest geniuses in the world, Ricks, gathering together and saying, this is our, and having only worlds where Rick is the ruler, where Rick is the best. And it's interesting because it's kind of foreshadowed in a way by Morty's mind blowers when, Morty finds out that Morty has, has all of his memories erased, not just that were his bad ones that he asked, but also anything where Rick made a mistake. Anytime Rick had a problem or made a mistake or even said something wrong, he erased it from Morty's mind. So obviously he's a control freak. So that kind of foreshadows this whole idea. It's going to be interesting knowing where they go from here. We were already kind of in that spot where, where we go from here. And that's why this season, I think, was so weird, was that it's hard to go back. But, and now we don't know where we're going to. And we know, how is Morty going to trust Rick? Is he going to be able to trust Rick? He did kind of make that decision because he could have gone with evil Morty off to the open worlds. Where Rick is maybe not the genius, or not even, maybe Rick doesn't even exist in a bunch of these worlds. Like, I've always thought that watching Rick and Morty, why does Rick exist in every world? There's got to be a world where Rick's parents didn't get together, or, there's got to be a world where Rick isn't, well, there is no Rick. I mean, you can go through all the different ways, but there's got to be a way, there's got to be worlds where Rick was killed as a baby, in a car crash or something crazy like that. I don't, obviously, I'm not sure exactly how all these things would happen, but there's got to be worlds where there's no Ricks. And it seems like all the worlds had a Rick. Obviously, Rick has gone and destroyed a bunch of Ricks, which was really crazy. The thing I did not like about this episode, and you guys can flame and trash me and get angry, but I did not like the idea of the whole memory of Beth and Rick's wife, how they perished, and it was told basically the exact same way it was in the season opener to season 3. Where he said, this is a fabricated memory. And I mean, we did get, Rick can't do this. He can't make up, he can't make up his own memories. So, I mean, it's kind of foreshadowed that way too, but I did not like how it turned out that whole thing was true. I was always looking for a better backstory. I like that Rick came out and said, just want, here's my fucking shit backstory, guys. It's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I just kind of expected something more. I feel like this whole finale was really great. However, there wasn't a lot out of expectations. And I find it very funny that, I don't know if you guys have watched the show Loki. Obviously, very awesome show, very highly praised. But the showrunner is a Rick and Morty alumni. And the whole idea of that having a time stream, and every time there's variance, pruning off the variance and keeping the time stream going in a certain way, looking after the time stream in that way that they did in Loki, it's kind of very similar that they had a Rick and Morty timeline, and they just wanted all the ones where Rick was the smartest. They put them in the same place. And then they blocked them off in some sort of way. Now, I would like to see this Evil Morty story continued, but I would like to see it continued in little blocks, maybe even a web series, maybe something different. Like give us like 5-minute shorts. I know this is a really, really deep cut, but if you were a kid, I used to watch the Iron Man cartoon show, blah, blah, in the 90s. And they gave us little blurbs at the start or end of the show where they would show the Mandarin slowly going and getting his rings back. And it was always just like a really quick 1-minute scene, 2-minute scene, something quick that just shows us what he's done, how he's got back there. I would love to see little bits, little tidbits, maybe even just in the after credits. Although the after credit scenes are so great, I wouldn't want them to change that formula. But just getting short tidbits of what happened to Evil Morty would be great. Also, if we could just get our fucking Two Crows Rick comic book series, that would be great. Just parody Batman, Two Crows Rick. I would love that. It would be fantastic. Anyways, let me know in the chat, what was your favorite part? I said things that you didn't like so much. I'm going to read off some of the chats here while you guys think of it. But what was your favorite lines, your favorite parts? Like one that comes to mind, the garbage goober was fucking awesome. I loved the garbage goober. Hilarious. Of course, classic dumb Rick and Morty character. He eats garbage. He says, I like garbage, 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 garbage. And we find out that he's got a wife and everything in the end credit scene. Love the garbage goober. Let me know what you guys thought. Let's check in the chat and see what you guys think about this. Misty says, hope the weather lets you guys stream. The weather did let us stream, but we did have some power outages and some craziness. And just crazy days altogether. So Damon says, I loved meta and tricking us into thinking it was the Two Crows show. Yeah, the Two Crows show was fantastic. Loved it. Damon also says, them trying to avoid the obvious reset is great. I know it's hard. Like, they keep saying for the last 2 seasons, they've been saying like, oh, we just want to go back to old Rick and Morty. We just want classic self-contained episodes. We just want, we just want to go back to what we had before. And it's funny that they've gone and said that. But how are they going to do it? How are they really going to do that? How are they going to go back and have Rick and Morty be the same old thing when we know so much? We know what we know. They're really going to have to evolve this show into something crazy. Now, I loved a lot of things they did this season, and they definitely changed up the whole recipe. I'm sure next season we'll have a whole new slew of writers. Hopefully Jeff Loveness comes back. By the way, Jeff Loveness was the all-star of this season. He wrote the finale, and he was fantastic, the episodes that he did. So follow him on Twitter. He's actually a good follow on Twitter as well. He likes to say, he loves to tell us what his inspirations for the episodes are. So really fantastic. Absolutely love him. I hope he comes back and does more. There's a good chance he's already been stolen by Marvel, because I believe is he the one who's doing Ant-Man and Wasp? The Quantum Realm or whatever. I'm not sure. I can check on that one, but I believe that he's already stolen for a big project. So Jake Sino says, I'd love to see a sort of spin-off episode of Evil Morty exploring all the realities on the other side of the curve. Oh, well, basically what I said. And he said it first, so maybe I stole it from him. Just want to make sure I give Jake the credit. Yeah, that's what I'd love to see too, but I'd love to see it in short little bits. We got a message here from Alan, says, come on back to Simple Rick. Exactly. It turns out Simple Rick is Rick, I guess. He's basically, it's not the exact same thing, but Simple Rick, he was the Rick who wasn't interested in portal and science. And, if we're to believe his memory now that it seems so closely tied, he was the one who was going to give up on science altogether. And then, someone came and killed his family. So he got out his prototype polar gun and hunted down a bunch of Ricks. He also made the Citadel of Ricks, which is kind of contrary, to what we had believed before. And he helped mold the whole thing, and he helped with all the plans, which is funny because when he gets the Citadel, he pretends like I fucking hate these guys. I say, if you got to be a real Rick and blah, blah, blah. And it did confirm that he is the Rick though. So that was interesting part. He's still the Rick. He's the real Rick. He's the Rick every Rick has a poster of in his room. Damon says, how many generations of Mortys are there? It's interesting. I mean, how did they, have they brought Mortys that exist when Rick hasn't really existed? I mean, if Rick hasn't existed, then obviously his grandson hasn't existed. But what if, there's the timeline where Beth remarries and marries that other guy. Fuck, I don't even remember what his name is. But I mean, if your grandparents, weren't your grandparents and yet they had a different guy, they would still have kids and maybe they would turn out to still look kind of like you with other, maybe a few genetic changes. Maybe Morty takes more after his mother's side, but so it's interesting to see what could all these other Mortys be like? How could these other Mortys exist, and what kind of interesting things could they be doing? Some of the crazy things we can now revisit and try to figure out. It's definitely, as much as they've solved so many things, we have to go back and watch it. And another interesting question I'd love to ask everybody in the chat: What did you like better, canon wise? Did you like episode 8 with all the bird person stuff better, or did you like episode 10 with all the central finite curve Rick drama, Rick backstory? What did you like better? Jake brings up a good point. What if Kyle is Rick's grandson from a reality where Beth has a kid with someone else? Perfect. Exactly. He could have gone to a universe where that's different and they had Kyle instead, and Kyle doesn't look like Morty, but Kyle is the token Morty. He's still kind of the Morty if he did all the same things. Good points so far, guys. Alan says, if Scary Terry's name was Scary James, they could introduce hey Rick James, bitch. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you can get Rick James into anything, that's perfect. I'm a big fan of the Chappelle sketch, the Rick James thing. So, another perfect question from Damon. Who's baby Morty? Who's the baby Morty that Rick is holding? Yeah. So we got these pictures, a few pictures of Rick holding baby Morty in his memories. It obviously happened. He came back and held the Morty. Maybe he got rid of another Beth in between. I mean, he obviously had to have created the other Beth, or moved. He's one of the lame Ricks that moves in with other Ricks who didn't. He moved in with a Beth. So has he moved in with multiple Beths? And did he hang out with a different Beth and then, see Morty grow up and then fuck that up somehow and then move with another Beth? And I mean, there's lots of Beths and Mortys available because a lot of the Ricks are on the Citadel, and you got to assume that they don't see their Beths and Mortys. And all of these questions, these are all the questions. Let me know. Was episode 8 better or was episode 10 better? Because I'm not going to lie. I was kind of more blown away by episode 8 than I was. Well, no, I was definitely more blown away by episode 10. I enjoyed the surprise more in episode 8 than I did in episode 10. Keeping in mind, I've only seen episode 9 and 10 once now because I had a very, 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 very busy last couple of days. I've been working nonstop, all sorts of crazy shit. Yeah. So, yeah. Which one did you like better? We are not going to go on too much longer. We're only going to go for 5-6 more minutes longer because we got to get into Fandom Empire Live, guys. Fandom Empire Live tonight. We're going to be talking about Halloween Kills again. Well, we're going to be talking about some of the news regarding that. And later we're going to be reviewing, if you guys are, any of you guys are wrestling fans, we're going to get out there. We're going to talk about AEW All Out, which was also a big mind fuck, a big bout of craziness. So All Out was definitely fantastic, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, Alan says he's going to watch now. Peace out, Glip Glops. Thanks, Alan, for tuning in. David also says the writing season 6 and 7 as they made 5 gives me hope. Yeah, we definitely know that season 5 and 6 were being done together a lot. From what I know about how they create Rick and Morty, a lot of the animation can be done at the same time if they know exactly what they're going to do. Some of the character building and some of the designs and things like that can be done at the same time. You don't have to, before they have the story and all the voiceovers and all that stuff in, and they change the lines and stuff like that, they can get a lot of that stuff done. But they have hired so many more people. They've had a big studio. They definitely, they got that big check or that big reassurance that they'd be doing Rick and Morty for another 7 seasons. They made sure that they'd be getting them out quick. So I would definitely think that we are going to get another season of Rick and Morty next year around this time. It's not going to be a 1.5 year wait, a 2-year wait. I really think that they've done all they need to do to get this, to get these things rolling out like a regular show. So thank you, North America Hip Hop. Remember to like the video, guys. Always like, share, comment. If you're watching this later, throw something in the comments. I check my comments all the time. I reply to them. So if you guys see the show later, you haven't been on the show before, you haven't tuned in, throw comments in there and I will respond to you and show up live and I will talk about it. I'll talk to you guys live. I like to do that as well. So yeah, give that video a like and comment, subscribe, all that shit. Where are we going in season 6? Now, there's not really a lot to go on now. I would expect that they are going to find a brand new direction to go in. I know a lot of people are thinking they're going to go back to classic Rick and Morty adventures. I don't see how that is possible anymore. I don't understand how they could go back to that. I think what they'll do is they'll have another season theme. The season theme, like I said, the whole season, the season was about Rick's sidekicks and how does he treat them? Rick's relationships with his close sidekicks. He obviously showed his relationship with Summer a lot more in this one. He had her a couple times. He threw Morty to the curb and said, "Hey, Jake. I usually watch this later, but my first time watching live. I really appreciate the support, Jake, and I'm glad that there are people watching this later on." But yeah, Jake, if you comment on my videos later on, I'll reply back to you. Always check out the Rick and Morty Fan Show Facebook group or on Twitter. And I post updates there. Might have to move. Might have to get the show moved to a different time slot. Pick up some more people. I'm just kidding. We'll probably stay at 8 the whole time, anyways. We got a busy schedule all the time. Anyways, yeah, going season 6. I think they will have a theme for season 6, and it will be something that we've never seen before. It's not going to be I wouldn't predict it's going to go back to Rick and Morty classic adventures. I don't think they're going to have, Rick turns himself into a salamander and whatever. They're not going to have that sort of stuff. I think they're going to find a new way to, bring us Rick and Morty, whether it's exploring a brand new villain, exploring brand new worlds. What if, to steal something from Star Trek, what if Rick and Morty get blasted off into a far off universe? Rick doesn't have his portal gun, like we know he's out of fluid, and they have to find a way home, just like on Star Trek Voyager. What if they have a whole season where that's it, and it's just Rick and Morty and crazy adventures in unknown regions? They don't know how to get back. What if we have a crazy season of Rick and Morty where it's a lot of it is in Rick's head and he has to escape his own thoughts? It could be something like that. That's what I would predict. I really don't think they can go back to classic. I feel like they've worn that out now. They've gone to all this crazy canon-y stuff, and I don't know how they could go back to regular. Anyways, a little bit of a shorter show today just because of circumstances and things like that, but I'm going to bid you guys adieu. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I know this wasn't a regular show on regular time. A lot of people will probably watch it later on. Yeah, let's next week, and hopefully Jake can get in on this. Next week, we're going to return to Rick and Morty trivia. We're going to do Rick and Morty trivia from season 5. So I hope you guys watch season 5 over and over and over and over and over again for the next week, because we will be doing Rick and Morty season 5 trivia next show. Basically, I ask the questions in the chat. You give me the answers, and we've done it a few different ways. I know some people get the chat like a little bit faster. Some people type a little bit faster. But we have different rules every time to try to get around that and see who is the smartest. We do have Alan Prescott in our chat. He won the very first Rick and Morty trivia that we had. So there's a trivia champion for you guys. Also, we give away prizes here. So probably whoever wins will get put into a big draw that will do maybe season 6. Maybe season 6 premiere will be our next big draw. We did a big draw where we gave away a bunch of shit like I have behind me, and that was really exciting. Anyways, that's all for the show. Check me out once again. You can go to Fandom Empire. You can, which is the network. We do lots of stuff. Not only do we do Rick and Morty, we do all sorts of stuff. We've been covering the Batman. We've been covering Game of Thrones. We've been covering Halloween Kills. We've been covering all of the fandom nerdy stuff that you guys like. So even a little bit of wrestling lately. You can check me out, however, at Gogan Kieron on Twitter. That's the Rick and Morty fan show. It'll come up with that as a nice picture of Garmanarnar on the front. You can also check the Rick and Morty fan show on Instagram and the Rick and Morty fan show on Facebook. There is a page and a group. You can join them both. They're both me. If the Rick and Morty fan show is my thing, I don't think there's any other Rick and Morty fan shows out there. Well, there's not one's called the Rick and Morty fan show. Anyways, so that's it for me, guys. I will see you later. Hopefully you guys pop up for trivia next Tuesday. All right. Listen to the music. I worked really hard on it. Or don't. Oh my God. Are we left with this again? Let's see. All right, but maybe we have an extra couple minutes. I wish we could do the same thing as Rick and Morty does and have we could have the credits roll and do all this crazy stuff, and then I can come back for like a little tidbit and be like, Just come back, give you. Yeah, you're right. You're right. North America Hip Hop, get your shit together. How's your podcast going, North America Hip Hop? We got what's it? The Inside Handoff Football Podcast for North America Hip Hop. What else can I plug here while we're sitting here? We're getting ready. Let's see what else I can give to you guys. What are we doing next? We don't got our shit together on this. You know what? While we're here, while I'm waiting for someone to shut me down here. Let's talk about our favorite new characters here. Obviously, we have cricket. Obviously, we have Mr. Nimbus was the biggest thing from this season. Probably one of the most exciting, awesome things that we've had so far. What's been our favorite character? What's been our favorite new character? Mine would probably be Mr. Nimbus. I really like the garbage goober from this episode. I thought that was great. But we've gotten so many different weird adventures. We got the weird Hoovy adventure in that same one. We've got a lot of different. Well, I mean, we got a lot of different Ricks as well. We got interesting insights into Bird Person and Rick. We got lots of different Ricks and Mortys in the Multiplicity. So we didn't get a lot of interesting new characters in that one. We got the Chuds that come from out. We got Dr. Shabubu, who was the crazy sperm fanatic or the whatever. We got the turkey president, which I mean is not really the president. So I thought that was a really funny new character. Honestly, that still might be my favorite season, or my favorite episode of this season was the Thanksploitation special. I thought that was fantastic. What else did we get in this season? I mean, episode 7. Why can't I think about what episode 7 was? Anyways, if you want to get in some questions on here, you can load some questions on here. I got really nothing to do with this extra time, so. Planetina. That's the other one I'm missing. Planetina was a great character. I really thought that they did a great job with her. You're right. A lot of it was to do with Allison Brie. Damon says, obviously really like her. Great in Community. She's a really good actress, and I mean she's really good in the Glow show as well, which is a wrestling show as well, but she's fantastic in that. I would definitely recommend that to any Allison Brie fans. I'm not sure if you've seen that before, Damon. I think it's just called Glow, but it's a wrestling show anyways. Yes, producer Sean's sleeping. It's obviously this might be my fault. Maybe he told me to go until this long and I didn't remember. Everything's been very mixed up today, but I really love the character. I loved how aloof she was to the idea that everyone's not being crazy and vegan and not always trying to save the planet. All that stuff I thought was really, like, she did a really good acting job on that. She didn't understand why. What? Brooke Flynn says, my wife left me. I'm not sure if that's a joke or if that's something to do with that, or if that is something that is really happening to you, then I'm very sorry for you, Brooke Flynn. That's rough. Okay. Yeah. Producer Sean is having issues now at his house. So, oh man, this crazy storm and all this crazy shit. Yeah, now there's something. I'm not sure what to do with that, Brooke Flynn. I'm sorry. Seek counseling. Anyways, I've been instructed to what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave the room, and this will be a blank stream now because things are not working out quite well at Sean's place. So, anyways, now I will say bye to you guys. Yeah, see you guys later. If you want, you can always check out Patreon. I didn't plug that as well. We got lots of extra content for people on Patreon, and you can sign up for as low as $3. It's actually the best way to support this channel, this show, because we get a much larger percent of that than we do with super chats and things like that. I didn't plug super chats today either. Man, it's been a weird day. Anyways, guys, I will see you later. For everyone who's going to tune into Fandom Empire Live, and hopefully it gets started in 15 minutes or so. I'll see you guys there. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week for Trivia Championships, guys. That's it for me. Have a good one, guys. Hey, Alex Roof, how's it going? Where you been, man? I'll see you. I think I'll see you probably, Alex Roof, in the next stream. I think we'll be on hopefully in about 15 minutes. Anyways, later, guys.